This is just for convenient transport, so there's no need for me to explain to them. Right, I just told them, hey, get on the truck quickly. And I got into the driver's seat. The heavy truck roared to life, like really roared. Its loud noise immediately drawing the attention of the surrounding zombies. But well, their movements were unusually slow, taking each step like they were in slow motion. They could only watch helplessly as the truck drove away. After all, they'd been frozen outside all night. These zombies were completely stiff. So I just floored the gas pedal. And you know what? In just 2.5 minutes, boom, we arrived at the supermarket entrance after getting out. Okay, I began to give instructions. I told them, remember, grab your weapons after getting out of the truck. Stick close behind Cynthia and me, and really, don't fall behind. Ning Yao's eyes, showed a hint of worrying. She was like, is it too dangerous to have Cynthia in front? Maybe I should go first instead, in her opinion. As an adult who had already killed a zombie, she was, obviously stronger than Cynthia, right? She should be the one protecting the other two. I told her, don't worry about Cynthia. She's much stronger than me. Actually, hearing this, Ning Yao and Zhang Miao, well, they looked doubtful. They were thinking, hey, you're the tough guy who moves through the zombie crowds with ease. Cynthia just looks like a normal girl. How could she possibly be stronger than you? With doubt, they got out of the truck and followed. Cynthia and I took out our weapons from the truck bed and, we entered the supermarket. The supermarket's first floor was the food section. Several zombies were aimlessly wandering around, among the shelves, so I told them, Ning Yao, Zhang Miao, you to move the food to the truck. Cynthia and I will take care of the zombies, okay? I said, grabbing the fire axe and heading towards the zombies. The zombies here were in much better condition than those outside. Not frozen stiff at all, luckily. There weren't many of them, and they were quite spread out. So, one swing of the axe for each. The zombies were quickly taken care of. Feeling that there was no danger, I turned to Cynthia and said, I'll go upstairs to clear out more. Alright, the second floor was a food court. There were more zombies there, and although it took time to clear them, it wasn't a big deal. Meanwhile, the two girls were timidly gathering supplies, super timidly. Suddenly, a figure quietly walked past behind them. Ning Yao panicked when she saw it. She was like, Cynthia, be careful. Before her voice had faded, Cynthia had already lifted her hand, effortlessly snapping the zombie's neck. After this little episode, the two continued carrying items. Just like nothing happened by the time I came down from the second floor. All the valuable items on the first floor were just about moved. At this moment, Zhang Miao excitedly ran over and said, Boss, guess what? I found the entrance to the supermarket's warehouse. Hearing this, I was totally overjoyed. Well done. When we get back, you can have a hot bath. And I'll give you a confidentiality agreement as a reward. How's that? Also, the zombies on the second floor have been taken care of. You and Ning Yao can go upstairs and move stuff. Okay, after the two went upstairs, I went to the supermarket's warehouse in the corner. There were 2 gasoline generators and for large barrels of gasoline. Each barrel should be the standard 200 liters. Enough to power things for hundreds of hours, Or enough to fill up the heavy truck's gas tank once. Soon, I called everyone, and together, we moved the generators and gasoline onto the truck. This trip was seriously fruitful. Just the food and drinks alone would be enough for 2.5 years. That's crazy. Meanwhile, things were very different for the students in the teaching building. A couple couldn't resist the loneliness. They went out to explore biology and were frozen into specimens. Can you believe that at this time, dozens of students in the classroom huddled together for warmth? They were hungry, cold, and, totally in despair. Just then, the sound of a vehicle driving came from downstairs at the teaching building. One of the students shouted excitedly, A truck! Hey, there's a truck outside! Hearing this, other students became excited. Great! Has the rescue come? Is it really a Du Yangsheng pushed a student away from the window and, upon seeing the truck, he became agitated. It must be someone my dad sent. for sure, as soon as he said this. Dozens of students responded, you know? But Du Yongsheng was worried that too many people would make too much noise, so he only called 10 people he trusted. As a result, when the group went down to the first floor, they found that the way out was blocked. This was his own fault. Actually, the day I left, Du Yongsheng, worried that I would return, had people block all of the windows. But luckily, there were many of them, and they quickly cleared a way out. The moment the window was opened, the temperature inside dropped sharply, and the group gritted their teeth, and one by one climbed out of the window. They moved quickly toward the heavy truck, like desperate to get out of there. On the other side, I had already parked the heavy truck in front of the safe house. Zhang Miao Miao and the others had changed into down jackets. They were busy moving the supplies from the truck to the safe house. However, when Zhang Miao Miao stopped to rest, she saw several blurry figures in the distance, and her first thought was that they were zombies. Of course, after all, in this freezing weather, there was no way that living people would be outside, right, boss? There are zombies approaching. Hearing this, my face remained calm. Like, no big deal. It's okay, keep going. I'll take care of it. Okay, soon, as the figures got closer, I realized something was wrong. Wait a minute. Why did the zombies look like they were trembling? That's weird. Even so, I became more nervous. Because in the apocalypse, the most dangerous things are not the zombies or the natural disasters, but humans. You know what I mean? In my previous life, many survivors gathered to rob other people's supplies, as I was worried about whether or not I should let some of them into the safe house. The faces of the figures became clear. It was actually Du Yongsheng and the others. Phew, I immediately stopped being nervous. Just some weak university students. They were too naive, honestly, at the same time. Du Yongsheng also spotted me. He was so shocked that he probably wet his diaper. LOL, how can it be you? He looked at the truck, even more shocked. Like, jaw-dropping, could that truck be yours? Really, if it's not mine, could it be yours? Come on, at this moment. One of the lackeys leaned closer to Du Yongsheng and whispered, Du Xiao, they're moving supplies. It looks like it's from our school's supermarket, you know? Du Yongsheng glanced at the truck and noticed that it was indeed. It even had the supermarket's label on it. The other lackeys were also upset. In their opinion, everything in the school belonged to them. So they immediately stepped forward and shouted, like they were so mad. It's already bad enough that an outsider is living in our school. How can they just take things without asking? That's not fair. They're moving things from the supermarket that belong to us. That's right, these things are all ours. You have to give them back. Right now, exactly, and this house. Since it's in our school, of course. It belongs to the school too. You have to give it up, guys. Du Yongsheng was even greedier and set his eyes directly on my heavy truck. This kind of truck costs millions? You must have stolen it from the school. Give me back everything that doesn't belong to you, all of it. I looked at their madness and couldn't help but laugh. LOL, if you want it, come and get it yourself, if you dare.